Inferno, Canto 8, the fifth circle, Intemperance and Indignation, the wrathful and sullen, Styx, the city of Dis.
I say, continuing, that long before we ever reached the lofty tower's foot, our eyes had upward toward its summit turned, because of two small flames we there saw placed, and of another answering from so far that hardly could mine eyesight make it out. Then to all wisdom's sea I turned around, and said, What saith this, and what replies that other fire, and who are they that made it? And he to me,
Upon the filthy waves thou canst already see what is expected, unless the marshes fog conceal it from thee.
Bowstring ne'er shot an arrow from itself that sped away so swiftly through the air, as I beheld a slender little boat come toward us through the water thereupon, under the guidance of a single boatman, who shouted,
Thou art caught now, wicked soul.
O Phlegyas, Phlegyas,
said my master then,
this time thou criest out in vain. No longer shalt thou have us than while we cross the swamp.
like one who listens to a great deceit practised upon him, and who then resents it, so Phlegyas in his stifled wrath became. My leader then went down into the boat, and had me enter after him, and only when I was in it did it laden seem. Soon as my leader and I were in the boat, the ancient prow goes on its way, and cuts more water than with others is its wont. While we were speeding through the stagnant trench, one stood before me filled with mud, and said,
Now, who art thou that comest ere thy time?
And I to him, Even though I come, I stay not. But who art thou that art become so foul? He answered,
As thou seest, I am the one who weeps.
Then I to him, In sorrow and in grief mayst thou, accursed spirit, here remain, for thee I know, all filthy though thou be. Then toward the boat he stretched out both his hands. My wary teacher therefore thrust him off, saying,
Away there with the other dogs.
And with his arms he then embraced my neck, and kissed my face, and said,
Blessed be she who pregnant was with thee, indignant soul. He was a haughty person in the world, nor is there any goodness which adorns his memory, hence his shade is furious here. How many now up yonder think themselves great kings, who here shall be like pigs in mire, leaving behind them horrible contempt?
And I said, Teacher, I'd be greatly pleased to see him get a ducking in this broth, before we issue from the marshy lake. And he to me,
Thou shalt be satisfied before the shore reveal itself to thee. 'Tis meet that thou enjoy a wish like that.
Soon after this I saw the muddy people making such havoc of him, that therefore I still give praise and render thanks to God. They all were shouting,
Et Philippo Argenti!
The spirit of the wrathful Florentine turning meanwhile his teeth against himself. We left him there. Of him I therefore tell no more, but on mine ears there smote a wail, hence I, intent ahead, unbar mine eyes. The kindly teacher said,
Now, son, at last, the town whose name is this is drawing near, with all its host of burdened citizens.
And I said, Teacher, clearly I behold its mosques already in that valley there, vermilion, as if issuing out of fire. And he to me,
The eternal fire within which keeps them burning maketh them look red, as thou perceivest in this nether hell.
Thereat we came inside the trenches deep, which fortify that region comfortless. To me its walls appeared to be of iron. Not without going first a long way round, we came to where the boatman cried aloud to us,
Get out, for here the entrance is.
More than 1,000 o'er the gates I saw of those that from the heavens had reigned, who vexed were saying,
Who is he that, without death, is going through the kingdom of the dead?
And my wise teacher thereupon made signs of wishing to have private talk with them. Their great disdain they somewhat checked, and said,
Come thou alone, and let him go his way, who with such daring entered this domain.
Let him retrace alone his foolish road, and try it if he can. For thou shalt here remain, that him so dark a land did show.
Think, reader, whether I lost heart on hearing those cursed words, for I did not believe that I should e'er return on earth again. O my dear leader, who hast made me safe more than 7 times, and extricated me from serious dangers which I had to face, forsake me not, said I, when so undone. If further progress be denied to us, let us at once retrace our steps together. That lord, then, who had brought me thither, said,
Be not afraid, for none can take from us our passage, since by such a one it's given. But thou await me here, and with good hope nourish and comfort thou thy weary soul, for I'll not leave thee in the nether world.
Thus goes his way, and there abandons me my tender father, and I in doubt remain. For yes and no contend within my head. I could not hear what he proposed to them, but with them there he did not long remain, for each in rivalry ran back within. They closed the gates, those enemies of ours, right in my master's face, who stayed outside, and walking with slow steps returned to me. His eyes were downcast, and his eyebrows shorn of all self-trust, and as he sighed he said,
Who has forbidden me the homes of pain? Though I get angry, be not thou dismayed.
He said to me,
For I shall win the fight, whatever defensive stir be made within. This insolence of theirs is nothing new, for at a gateway less concealed than this they used it once, which still is lockless found. Death's scroll thou sawest over it, and now this side of it one such descends the slope, crossing the rings unguided, that through him the city will be opened unto us.
End of Inferno Canto 8.